Hello friends, this is Shelley from Koala Knits and Knacks. We are going to make this not so scary scarecrow. Isn't he just adorable? You know, when he's standing tall, to the top of his hat, he is 20.5 inches. When he's sitting like this, he's 18.5 inches. So just a wonderful, wonderful size. I used my 46 needle Addi and my 22 needle Addi. I also used my Addi egg, but if you don't have the Addi egg for the cording, I will tell you 3 other options that you can do to make the I cord. So make sure you follow along in the video and you'll listen for those, okay? I used Heartland yarn, Lion Brand Heartland yarn. The skin color one is called Grand Canyon. You need 1 ball of that, and you don't even use half of it. The other one is Carlsbad Caverns. That's the blue one, and I believe I only used 1 full one of that as well. Buy 2 in case you need a little bit extra, but I think I pretty sure I only used 1, but I had used part of it before. Okay, we are going to also use. I also used for the black hat. I used Bernat Premium Black Tweed. I also used for the straw Red Heart Super Saver in the color Saffron. And then that shirt that you see is a rust color that's Craft Smart yarn. Don't buy it. It is terrible in the machine. Well, you'll see when we get into the video, but I'm encouraging you not to buy that one. Buy another color for the shirt that you like, and don't pick up the Craft Smart. Okay, but other than that, we are going to get going on this project. I hope you have fun. You're going to need 2 buttons as well for this project. So let's get going and have fun as you do it. I can't wait to see your project, so please show me in my Facebook group. I've got my blue ready to go. That's the color of the overalls. We're going to put our last white, our first black, in line with our yarn feeder. We're going to cast on. So behind that first black, I don't need quite such a long tail. Behind that first black, in front of the next, behind and in front, all the way around. Now make sure you don't be pulling on this and putting lots of tension on it, because then your first row is going to be very, very hard to knit. Okay, so just let it slip through your fingers nice and lightly, more loose than anything. And behind and in front, all the way around. Before you get to the beginning, we're going to set our row counter to 0, so it's ready to go. In front of that last white one, into our yarn feeder. We're going to knit 25 rows of this color. Okay, so I've got my yarn between my thumb and my finger. I'm putting a very light tension on it. Make sure it goes down into the dip of your yarn guide at the back of your yarn feeder. And you just nice and evenly knit until you get to 25 rows, okay? So when you get there, I'll see you back. All right, so I've made it to row 25. Now I'm going to find my scissors. We're going to cut that yarn end, put it between the last white and the first black, and we're going to grab our shirt color. Now, this one I'm going to have to be very patient with because it's from Craft Smart. It's like, I don't know what color this is. It's like a rust kind of color, but it's a beautiful shade for a scarecrow. And so I am going to use it as the shirt color, but I know that my machine's going to hate it. So we have to do 13 rows of this only, so that's not bad. And it'll take us to row 38. I'm going to attempt my jogless join. Generally, if you don't do a jogless join, you have both of these in the middle here, and then you start knitting your rows. But I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it onto the other side of the white one, so that we have them crisscrossing underneath that white needle. I haven't been very successful with the jogless join. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I think I'm tying it way too tight. So I am going to try to do it looser this time. So then we are going to let that sink. I'm going to follow this around very slowly to watch as every one of those stitches drop down over the red needles, so as it picks up this heavier feeling, coarser yarn. Okay. And when I get to row 3 or 4, then I'm going to tie that tight, okay? 3 or 4 of this color. Okay, so now I'm going to go slowly. It's only 13 rows, and it will take us to row 38 on our counter. So whatever color you choose, that's what you're going to do, 13 rows. But I am seriously going to baby this and go slow because I want it to work. And I know my machine hates this yarn, so So far, so good, because I found the speed that works. I found the tension. I'm putting light tension on it. And I'm watching as every needle passes by to make sure that that loop goes down over the red teeth before the needle picks it up and sinks it, okay? This one's gonna tuck, so I'm gonna grab my, this is why I go slow. Where is my loom pick? It's over here. I'm gonna help that down over the red teeth before that needle picks it up. And then I'm gonna just put some pressure down on, I'm pushing down lightly as I go around. And that is helping to put those little loops over the red teeth, okay? So I know I've got to go till my counter says row 38, so I'm almost there. But now I'm gonna stop, and to tighten these yarn ends from our color change, we pull them away from each other. And generally I pull too hard, so I hardly pulled at all there. And I'm gonna see what that looks like when we take this off. I'm just trying to figure out the right tension for this kind of a knot, this kind of a join. Because I think it's a beneficial join to use, but I think that I've been just pulling it too much to this point. So it's a learning curve for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. And so we're going to see what that looks like when we're done. But I'm gonna keep going till I get 38, and I'm gonna just help it like this, okay? So keep going, friends, until you have row 38 on your counter. All right, I'm on row 38. I'm gonna finish it, and I'm gonna watch for that black marked divider to come around. It needs to be colored again. I take a permanent black marker, and this is the last white, and that's the first black, and I color that divider in between. So I always know when it's coming to the end and I don't pass it, okay? So 38 rows done. We're going to cut this yarn end. Put this in between the last white, the first black. Then we're gonna grab our skin color, okay? And so I'm gonna insert that into my yarn feeder. In between that last white, the first black, let's do another color, jogless color change. Over to the other side. And then we're going to knit. I'm gonna pull that a little tighter just so those stitches right there loosen up or tighten up a little bit, and it's even tension here as it is around the rest of the project. We're going to do 24 rows of this tan, making sure that this first row is slow so that those orange needles slip down over the red teeth. And then with this yarn, we can go a little faster because my machine loves Heartland yarn. Okay, so 24 rows, and that will take us to, let me double check, 62 on the counter. So that one was a little loose, that's okay. 62 on the counter. So just helping this first row. Okay. Push those down. Okay, so keep going. 24 rows of your tan color. Your counter will say 62 rows, and then I'll see you back. Well, I'm gonna tie this one after 3 rows. So if you want to see that, come back and I'll show you. Otherwise, keep going until you get to row 62 on your counter and finish row 62. All right, so let's tie these off. We can't forget to do that. We're gonna take them and just pull them. It's pulling, let me just grab my pick so I can show you. It is pulling this one here, this orange one here, and this tan one that's right beside it. So we just want to pull them so that it makes it a little bit smaller. Same size as the rest of these little stitches here, but again, I always pull it too tight, so this time I'm hardly pulling it. And I'm not tying my knot. I'm tying my second knot tight, but not the first one, okay? And I'm gonna cut that off, and I'll see you when I get to row 62. Just finished row 62, and don't those colors all just look so beautiful together? Just love them. Okay, we're going to start rolling up our project into a donut so that we have even tension on our rim as we go around. Helps to keep our stitches even. Okay, and so now that we did 25 blue, we did 13 green, we did 24 tan. We're going to do the opposite of that now. We're going to leave this yarn on. We're going to do another 24 tan, which will take us to row 86. Then you'll change your color back to green, and you'll do 13 rows of green, which will take you to row 99. And then you're going to add your blue and you're going to do 25 rows of blue, and that will take you to row 124. Okay, so write that all down in your book. Okay, finished row 124. I'm going to cut off about, I don't know, maybe 12 or 14 inches from the end of that yarn end. Put it between the last white, the first black. Make sure it's between those two because you still have to finish working this one, and you have to work that one to finish that stitch. Okay, we're going to put our yarn on our needle and we're going to cast off. So continue cranking your handle. Take off that first black one, the second one. Okay, turn your handle. If you're new, put your finger over the second one there, just like this as you take them off. Because if you pull up too hard on this as you pull the string up and this loop comes off these red teeth, your row will start to unravel. Okay, so until you have a feel of the tension, that's a good idea. Okay, otherwise you can just start taking all of these off until you get all the way around, and then I will see you back. Go make yourself a cup of coffee and join me. Okay, so now that we have that off the machine, we are going to take that needle off of there. We're going to unroll it. These colors, they're so gorgeous. Okay, and that is what our piece looks like, but we always have to stretch it widthwise, just like that, and lengthwise all the way down. Wouldn't this make a gorgeous scarf? All of these three colors together. Now this rust color is a little bit thicker, and you can see that. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but you can feel it when it's in front of you. But it's still gorgeous. Now there's one of my joins. Not too bad, actually. Where's the other one? Okay, that one doesn't look very jogless. Maybe I didn't do it on that one. This one? Perfect. I'd say perfect. So I'm getting better. I said in one of my videos that practice makes perfect. Things don't usually get me like this one that this has, but to find my right tension for pulling that knot has been a challenge, but we're going to keep going. Never give up. See, I struggle too. We don't always, you know, when we're doing videos, we look like we have it all together and we know exactly what we're doing, but it's not always the case. We learn with you. That's why I love my Facebook group, because we're all learning together, and everybody there is so great, and we just feed off of each other. So if you, I'm just going to grab my needle here. If you haven't already joined my Facebook group, then please come over and do so. Koala Knits and Knacks. You won't regret it. Okay, so I'm going to thread my needle. Then I'm going to go around the first row of stitches here, just like this, and then pull tight. Go all the way around. Just once is all I need to do. And reinforce it. Then I'm going to pick up 2 strands like that and just tie a double knot and push it down with my finger. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you back when you're done. All right, I've gone around once and I am just reinforcing it. Then I'm going to put my hand up into the tube, just like this. And I'm going to put this needle in through the center, pull that yarn end through. I'm going to pinch the top and I'm going to bring it through to the other side, just like that, okay? And out the other end. Then what you're going to do, you can take your needle off of that end, but you're going to make sure that this stays outside, okay? And we're going to find the other end from that other side. Where art thou? Just like that. Unroll this as you tighten. And you're going to go ahead and do the same thing to this end that you did to the other one, okay? Keeping this out of the way. You're going to reinforce it all around that first row of stitches and then tie a knot. And when you get that finished, I'll be back with you. So I finished that. I'm going to tie my knot to secure. Then this other one that has the inside one attached to it, I'm going to pull that up so that it's both layers are right close to each other. Then we're going to tie a knot, making sure that both of those come right tight close to each other, okay? And I usually do 3 for this. Okay, now you can just snip that off and put it on the inside. Turn it inside out, or the other side out, because there is no inside out. Unless there's one side that you like better than the other side, then that's the one you want on the outside, okay? Then you're going to just take your hands and smooth this out. That would be like really a beautiful beanie. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I might have to make one, okay? For the next part, we're going to put yarn on our needle that is the same color as the face there, okay? And now this is where our seam side was, so we're gonna have that in the back. This is the front, okay? Because there's no seam that's been joined there. So make this your back of your project. We're gonna take our yarn and we're going to go under that first row of stitches, over the next, under, over, and because we have two colors there, it's very, very easy to see, okay? And we're going to separate the body from the head by doing this. Over a row, over, under, all the way around. Okay, so go ahead and do that all the way around. And when you get to the other side, I will come back with you, okay? We've made it all the way around and we're going to just cut one of them just a little bit shorter. And just give this a nice even tie because we're going to cinch this later and then we're going to reinforce it. So I don't want to lose those ends, but we're going to just tie it in an easy bow there so we can take it off later. And what we're going to do next is you're going to go ransack through your kitchen. You're going to say, oh, Shelley, you were nuts. And yeah, I might be a little bit, but you're going to go find a lid, a plastic lid or something like this that has a little, well, the lid is the best thing, okay? This one is 3.5 inches, okay? So it's the perfect size. So go get yourself a lid, clean out a jar, steal it, and you'll be fine, okay? Then you're gonna go and find some rocks. Go outside to your driveway or out near York Road and find some rocks, okay? Just like that. So I've got some heavy stones that I'm putting in there, and then you're gonna, you're all thinking I'm just crazy, aren't you? And then we're gonna just open up this tube and we're gonna set that in there, okay? So this is gonna be on the middle. Set that there, just like so. It will stay in place once we stuff it, okay? And from there, we are going to take our fiber fill and we are going to begin stuffing our piece. Now, we wanna also make sure we know that our scarecrow is not fat, okay? Scarecrows are usually long and lanky. So we want to have this nice and just a perfect amount, but don't overstuff it, okay? Don't make them chunky. So let's just put that in there, just like that, so it falls nicely, just like so. I'm getting so many ideas just from looking at the colors of this and the shape of it right now. My head is, oh, if you only knew how my head works. Okay, so we're going to just, I like to separate it, put that in there like that until we get it to a nice size, and then we're going to tie this, okay? It's not too tight because I also want my scarecrow to have a little bit of shoulders so I can put the straps for his overalls over it, okay? So just like that, and then you can cut one of these off a little bit shorter. Then just stand him up and see what he's like. I think that's perfect. So we're gonna just leave this just like it is. We're gonna leave this like it is. What I do is I go around this again just to hide those hills that are there. The hills and valleys are what I call them. But we're gonna go ahead and stuff the head now, okay? And just like that, and we're going to cinch up the end. But before I stuff it too full, I should show you. We're going to grab another piece of yarn, put it on our needle, make sure that this is all smoothed out so it's not scrunched up on the inside, but that this whole thing is smoothed out all the way around. Then you're going to take the top rim of it, you're going to go under one row of stitches, over one, under one, over one, under one, just like that. So we can have a yarn that we can use to cinch this closed, okay? So over, under, all the way around the edge, the top edge here, okay? Till you get to the other side, and then I'll see you back. Okay, so now we can pull that, just like that. Except for don't close it completely, because if you're gonna use safety eyes, now's the time to put them on, okay? So then you just have to choose now, which is my front and my back. I think that was the back. This is the front. Okay, I just poked the eyes in there, and just to see if I like where they are, they're 10 rows down and there's 6 rows in between, okay? So if you have safety eyes, these are 12mm eyes, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna make sure that those fibers are over so that I can get this on nice and tight. Now, if this was a kid's toy, I'd put a little bead of glue gun underneath that hot glue underneath this clip thing to make sure that it stays on, okay? But there we go. So that's where my eyes are going to be. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and cinch this closed and add a little bit more. It's too loose. So I'm going to add more until it's the desired thickness that I like, and then I'm going to tie this off, and I'm going to reinforce it around this outside edge with my needle, just like I did. Sorry, that's my iPad dinging. Just like I did the other end, and reinforce it closed, and then I'll see you back. So there we have it. That part's done. And if you don't get it 100% closed, don't worry, because you're going to have a hat on the top of the head. But now we're going to go back and finish off this part, okay? So you can see he's nice and soft, but he's not overly stuffed, okay? Which I love. I think that's what's going to make him look the best. And this little stone and plastic container at the bottom is going to make him sit, okay? His legs will hang over the edge. Inspired by a snowman that I bought at, now what is that restaurant in the States? Oh, that we all love. Starts with a C. Has a craft store in it. Oh, what is it? Cracker Barrel. Whenever we go to the States, which obviously hasn't been for a while, we have not been to a place where they have the Cracker Barrel in a while, before COVID actually. But many years ago, I bought a snowman that sits on the top of my, in the winter, sits on the top of my china cabinet. The curio cabinet, actually, it's taller, and his legs hang way down, and his arms as well. And so that's how I got inspired to do this one. Thinking about my little snowman that I have loved for years, and now I'm gonna have a scarecrow to do the same thing and sit in the same space. So anyways, that's where my inspiration from this came and my thoughts on it. I actually did make one before I made this one, and it was my trial following the pattern that I had come up with. And my row counts were off, so I had to redo it. And this is the outcome. So anyways, I'm almost at the other end, and I didn't tell you what I was doing. I'm going over the hills and in under the valleys, and that's going to smooth out my neck. Over the hills, under the valleys, and a bent needle works the best for this. Over the hills, under the valleys, all the way around. And it just is that little detail that will make your piece look way better, okay? I always tell you, here it's coming, you know what I'm going to say. The details matter. If you take the time to do the little details, your project will be worth more. Now, well, I'll tell you in the next clip what I was going to think, okay? Because I'm going to just break here and tie this. So now what we're going to do is take these two ends, and we're going to pull them. Not too tight. I want to make sure I have something that looks like a shoulder here so I can put the overall straps over it. But pull that, and that just smooths out my neck a little bit more. Makes it look nicer. Tie a knot. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. Tie a knot. So all I did was tighten this a little bit. I think I was off camera. Tighten that a little bit. Tie it. And then go ahead and hide it up into the head. Hide it into the head because it's the same color. I wouldn't have gone down into this rust color because then if it ever poked out, you would see it. This way you won't, okay? And so that makes our neck much nicer. Okay, so far, so good. That's what we've got. Now we're going to grab our Addi 22 needle machine. We're going to grab this color here, and we're going to make the arms and the legs. Okay, so we are going to make 4 pieces the exact same. 2 legs and 2 arms. Same length, same thing, okay? So what we're going to do, except for different colors, okay? We're going to start with our tan, and we're going to go behind that first black needle in front of the next. We're going to cast on just like we did on the other piece, okay? So just cast on like this before you get to the beginning. Set your row counter to 0. Open your latch, put it in there. We're going to knit 12 rows of this skin color. Okay, I've got 12 rows complete. I'm going to cut my yarn end, put it between the last white, the first black, then I'm going to grab my overall color, which is my blue. I'm going to put it into my yarn feeder between the last white, the first black. We're going to knit 36 rows of this color. Let's do a jogless join. Okay, just like that, 36 rows of this color, which on our counter will take us to row 48, okay? So we did 12, then we're going to do 36, which will take us to row 48, and when we get there, I'll see you back. Now we're gonna do the reverse of this, okay? So we're going to do another 36 blue, which will take us to 84 rows. So do another 36, your counter will say 84 when you're done. And from there, we're gonna do 12 tan, okay? And after your 12 tan, you will be at row 96, okay? So now do another 36 rows of blue, then 12 rows of tan, and then you're gonna do the cast off like we did on our other pieces. Cut off a long tail, then pick off every stitch, okay? So do that for 2 legs. Then you're gonna do that same process with the arms, except for you're gonna use tan as your beginning color, and you're going to use that rust color. Whatever is the shirt color, that's what you're going to use for the second color, okay? So then you'll do 12, 36, 36, and 12, okay? Of that color for 2 arms. And so once you get all 4 of those pieces done and cast off your machine, then I will meet you back. All right, friends, so we've got those done, and we're going to set them aside, and we're going to grab some waste yarn. So a color of yarn that is different in contrast to the overall color, to the blue that I'm using, to whatever color you're using for the overalls, okay, for the pants. We're going to cast on behind that first black, in front, behind, and in front, all the way around. Let me make sure I am recording. Yes, I am. This is the second time I'm doing this because I didn't hit record the first time. Well, I did, but I didn't hit it hard enough, and then it didn't record. So I did the whole section and had to do it over again. But that's what happens when you make videos. It doesn't all come together as easily as you think, but it's all fun. So I'm going to do 7 rows of waste yarn. It looks easy when you're watching the finished project, but it does take a lot more time than what you would think. But I love it. I wouldn't trade this time for anything. I just love doing it. Okay, I'm going to run out of waste yarn. I should have stopped, but that's easy to fix. I'm just going to add a little bit more to get me to the end. This will be the last time I use this yarn. Okay, to get me to the end, right there. And then I'm going to put that between the first white and the last black. I'm going to grab my blue color, just like this, okay? And I'm going to knit 14 rows. Give that a little tie. Didn't set my counter, and I already started, but that's okay. Count out 14 rows. And when you're there, I'll see you back. All right, so I'm at row 14. I'm going to cut my yarn, open my latch, put it between the last white, the first black. I'm going to grab my waste yarn again. And I'm going to do 7 rows. That's typically what I do. I'm probably not going to make it with this one because I cut off a piece, but I might. Okay, so I'm going to go until I get 7 rows, and then I'll see you back. I did actually, surprising, but I'm going to put a little tie in this just so that it doesn't come apart while I set it aside. Okay, we're going to open our latch, put that in between the last white, the first black. Then we're going to rotate our barrel. That's once, and on the second time, it comes off. So 2 rounds, and it comes off just like that. Sometimes you have to unhook that little last one, but then you're going to stretch it out. Okay, and then you're going to remove your Addi and grab your 5mm crochet hook, and we're going to work on this part really quickly, okay? All right, so grab your 2 favorite stitch markers. We are going to untie that one there, and this is the beginning of our project because it's hard to take off, okay? So if you don't know where to place your bobby pins or your stitch markers, start with the end that was the beginning of your project, because that's what I'm doing now, okay? You're going to find your waste yarn, that tail of your pink waste yarn, and it's coming through this loop right here, okay? So slooping around in there and then going up. We're going to put our bobby pin in that stitch. That's considered our first stitch, okay? Then we're going to go over to this other side, and you'll see where your working yarn is coming up here. That loop that's right beside it is where we're going to, did I say? That's the first, and that's the 22nd, okay? Now, because there's 22 stitches on here, we got to count around to 11 and 12 to get the exact side here. I'm actually going to use a 4mm hook. You can use whatever hook you're comfortable with, okay? So we're going to count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we're going to put our hook in number 12, and that will count as number 1 now, okay? We want to work 22 stitches, so if that's number 1, we're going to go up to this next one up here, go underneath it, put it through the loop. We've worked 2 now. Go down to the bottom, pick up a loop, that's 3. Up at the top, through the loop on your hook, that's 4. 5, 6, repeating this all the way down the row, counting to make sure that you're working all 22 stitches. Okay, and once we get to the end, magic of camera, this one here at the bottom will always count as 21 if you were counting, okay? If it's not 21, you've missed a stitch somewhere along the line or did something wonky. That's 21, take that out. Pull up on this one, and this is where bobby pins, especially on the smaller panels, they're nice because you just pull it up and you can get under that stitch, 22, and work it. Wrap that working yarn around, pull it through that loop that's on your hook, and now we're ready to take off our waste yarn. To do that, we're going to roll this up until we get to the very top row. When you pull this, you'll see that this is your top row right there, okay? Roll it up farther down, and you'll see when you pick that up, there's that loop over top, just like that. So you know that's the top row. Okay, there is an easier way to do this, I am aware. You can put one row of a different type color in here before you start your working yarn, and then you just got to pull that row out and everything will fall off. But you still have to unravel your waste yarn then and roll it up if you're going to use it again. So I don't know, I prefer this way. People tell me all the time, you know, there's another way. So now I'm starting to tell you, yes, I do know. I prefer this because I think in the long run, it's faster. Like I really do think that. I don't have to take the time to change my yarn color at the end, and I just work this as I go. So, and wind it as I go. I find that it's not a problem at all, okay? Take that one off, set that aside. Now we're gonna go to the other side. This is the end of our project. Undo that little slip, that little tie that you did. Okay, so where the waste yarn is coming out of that loop now, it's going through this loop right here. I'm going to put a stitch marker there. That's number 1. To the left of it, or it's underneath, you'll see that this is the working yarn. It's coming through this bottom stitch here, but this is the working yarn. This is the loop we want. Okay, the one at the top. And that is going to be 21. This is 22. You're going to close that the same way you did your other one. Go around, put your hook under number 12, and then work back and forth until you get this closed off. And then your waste yarn just pulls off on this one. You don't have to do any fancy work, okay? So go ahead and do that. There's our little piece. It's perfect. We can set that aside, and we are going to grab our arms and our legs. All right, I'm going to grab one because we're going to do the same thing to all 4 pieces. We're going to take the one end, and we're going to cinch it closed, making sure that we smooth out that top before we start reinforcing. Okay, we're going to put this end on our needle, and we're going to go around and reinforce it just around that top row of stitches, just like what we've done before, okay? Just once around like that. Tie a knot. There we go. And then you're going to put your hand in the other side, being careful not to snag it with your rings. If you have rings on that hand, okay? Put this into the center. Hold the point of the needle on the inside with your hand so that you don't snag the work. Pinch the top and bring it through. Just like that, okay? Then pull that yarn end through. We're going to go ahead and cinch up this one. Again, we've done this already, so go ahead and do that. Reinforce it around there. Tie these two so that the inside one is really up snug to the outside one. And then when you got that done, see me back. Okay, so now I can cut these off just like that. I can turn it inside out or right side out so that those yarn ends are on the inside, just like that. I'm going to put my other hand in because there's not a sharp ring on that side. Then you're going to just smooth it out just like this. So just so it's not creased on the inside, okay? And then this is going to be the back because well, it doesn't matter actually, because what we're going to do next is going to cover that. But you're going to take a little bit of stuffing, not much, just a little bit. That's probably too much. And you're going to stuff it into the bottom down like that, okay? Just so it reaches, just so it's full, but it reaches this top right here. Then you're going to take your needle and you're going to take the yarn end that's on there. If it's long enough to wrap around, it's probably long enough. This one might be too short. Let's put this other one on. It's a bit longer. We're going to pick up the top row. So pick up one stitch, go over the 2 bars, pick up the next one all the way around. We've done this work before too, so it's easy. Just like this. And we're going to form our foot. Okay. I'll stay on with you because this is really quick. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take these 2 and you're going to tie them just like that. Okay, you know this is where I struggle all the time. But there we go. Okay, just like that. And we don't have to wrap it around twice. I've done one already. You just want to make sure that they're the same size, okay? This one's not quite as full, so I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Just make sure that your 2 feet are the same size, okay? And then you can take these 2 ends and hide them inside your work and bring them up. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more in there. All right, so there they are. I'm going to put them aside too. Now, because this Red Heart yarn is coarser and they're both 4-weight yarn, but the Red Heart one makes it bigger because of the thickness of it and the coarseness of it. So sadly, it's a little bit bigger, but you know what? When we're going to fix this when we attach it. So don't panic. It's going to look, as you've seen in the beginning pictures, it's going to look perfect. You're not even going to notice. So set those aside, grab your piece, and then we are going to talk about the I-cord. All right, so he's been patiently waiting to be worked on. I made my I-cord on my Addi egg, and I do have a video on that, so I didn't want to take the time in this video to show you how to use the Addi egg. If you have an Addi egg, you probably already know how to do it, but if you have one but you don't know how to use it, check out my video, go to my channel. Well, you're on my channel. Hit the video, scroll down till you find how to use your Addi egg, and you make yourself a really long one like this. Now this one in particular is, let me just measure it. Oops. I did it off camera and it's about 30 inches, but I should have made it longer, so I'm going to have to make another one because what you want it to do is you want it to go around, let's put it in half here. You're going to want it to go around the body. We're going to sew it on, not quite yet though. Bring it around to the back. Okay, like this. We're going to cross it over so it's crossed in the back. We're going to have it sewn down here so it stays. Then it's going to come around the front. This one's long enough for this part of the project, but I need it longer for around the ankles as well. So I'll have to make another little one. And then when our overall bib is on there, this is going to come around and it's going to attach to the sides here, okay? Or to the end here. So this one's a bit long for this, but this is easy to fix because with these cords, I'm just going to show you even right now as I'm on here. All you got to do is, yikes. Yep, that's all you got to do. And then you pull out until you get all those strands out. Okay, and then you've got your 6 loops there. There's no better time than now to teach. Okay, and then once those 6 loops are showing, you put this on, and then, oops, I can pull that one out. And then you just pick them up, just like this, with your needle. And you can tighten them like that, okay? So that's how you can make it whatever size you want. And then we're going to attach them like that. But I need to make 2 more to go around the circumference of the ankles, okay? So it's got to go around here, so it's going to be short. It's not going to be long at all. You can see that. I can't tell you how long to do it because your tension will be different. Your tension will be different for your I-cord. The amount of stuffing you put in your body will make you know, the length that you need different and how you twist it in the back. So you have to figure that out yourself. Sorry, guys. But you have to figure out the length yourself. Make it extra long so that you can cut it off to the size that you need, okay? And that is done on the Addi egg. I have a video for that. I don't have time to teach you that in every video. So you can go to my, you're on my channel, just scroll down and find the how to use your Addi egg, and you will find it there. Okay, if you don't have an Addi egg, then you can make I-cords on your, either of your machines, any of your machines, over 7 needles. So do a flat panel over 7 needles, tie up the sides, or sew up the sides, and you have an I-cord. And if you need to see how to do that, because again, I can't show everything in a video. If you need to know how to do that, go to my Ninja Turtle video that I just posted recently, and I did an I-cord on my machine there over 7 needles, and do that, or use your clover knitter that you can make a I-cord on. So you choose whichever ways you can to make this I-cord. And you also are going to need 2 of them in this color of your shirt here, just to go around the wrists of the arms. And we need those there because it's going to hide our straw. Okay, so go ahead, make your I-cords, and when you have those done, come back and see me. Okay, now we are going to grab the bib for our overalls. Now I hid in the 2 shorter lengths, and I just attached on the corner here when it's longer so I can sew around. Okay, we need to have it up in the top corner. We're going to place this in the center and just 1 row below the blue there. Just 1 row of blue covering, just so that we have some space up here we can see the shirt, okay? So I am going to, once I have that sitting the way I want it, I'm going to pick up some of the rust color, go in, and sew that on, okay? Then I'm going to just follow down. I can even mattress stitch this if I want. However you want to sew it on, because it's lining up here on these rows, I'm going to mattress stitch it, picking up 2. Generally when I mattress stitch, I have the wide part of the V facing down, but in this case it's not, and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to just work with it like it is. Pick up 2 bars on that side, pick up 2 bars on this side, double check to make sure I'm in the camera, pick up 2 bars. I'm going to work my way down to the blue. You can sew this on however you like. If you have a better way that is easier for you, you go ahead and do that, okay? So I'm going to have that down there. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to just pull it. You see how that's attached? It's beautiful. Okay, now that that side's done, I'm going to just sew this one on. Can't mattress stitch this one because the stitches on the bottom of the bib are different. So I'm just going to pick up a row and pick up all the way across. Then I'm going to mattress stitch up the side here to finish this side and knot it off and hide my end. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you back when you're done. Okay, I'm almost done here, but just one little tip here too. When you're sewing your bib on, you're doing the mattress stitch, make sure you follow along the same row, because look how beautiful that is. If I was to skip over and do a different row, it would look messy. So detail is always so important. So again, follow up the same row so that it looks nice and straight, okay? All right, I'm almost there. So I'm gonna put that up into the corner. Okay, just like that. Tie it off in a knot. One more. And then I can hide this into the work. In between the 2 layers of my bib. Okay, cut it off. Throw that out. And that's looking great. We have a little pocket there. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so next on the list of things to do, we aren't getting to the end. Seriously, people, we are. We still got a little bit to go, but not that bad. I'm grabbing this saffron color from Red Heart Super Saver that I had in my drawer. It's the perfect color. And we're going to start doing our little straw, okay? And then this is how we're going to finish it off with our band over it. Now, again, if you just what I was thinking through the night as I was trying to sleep is that if you don't have means to do the I-cord in the different ways that I showed you or told you about, you can also take several strands of yarn and braid, make a braid, a thick braid, and then just put your braid, work your braids around, okay? That's another option for you. But we are going to take our yarn, literally take your 4 fingers, wrap it around, just like this. Okay, I'm going to just wrap a bunch around. I'm going to stop there just for time's sake. Then you're going to make 1 cut. These little ones will get thrown out, of course. And from there, we're going to take our little strand, put it in half. We are going to take that top row right above the hand there. We're going to take our hook and put it underneath a stitch. And from there, we're going to take the loop of that piece that we have, pull it through, and then we're going to pull the 2 ends through that loop. You can also cut them off shorter as you go, or, you know, for the other ones that I did already, I just cut them after all of them were put on, okay? So you're going to continue around in that manner, getting them all put on, and I'll see you when you're done. All right, so it seems like with every video that I do that there is a glitch with one of the takes, and I can't upload it to the tutorial when I'm editing. And one of them was when I was putting these on. Okay, so I'm going to just lift these on. I showed you how to put those on, and then it cut off. So you had a very short demonstration of how to put those on, but it's like putting a fringe on. Okay, so I just went into every row, and you know, just space them out nicely there, and then you can cut them as you go, or you can cut them just zigzag after, just to you don't want them all the same length. But then I took my the part that is missing is this band here. Okay, so I took this I-cord that I made, and I put it over the front and around to the back, and then I tied it here. And if you don't have 2 strands to tie it, then you just sew it together and knot it off good. And then I just took my needle, my thread, and the yarn, and I just went into the leg and into the band here, just to tuck it down and hold it into place. So that part is missing on the video, so I thought I would pop on now after the fact and just show you that that is what it's going to look like. Okay, so go ahead and follow the rest of the video, and I will see you in a bit. I've got them all done, but I decided that I'm going to close up this arm, make it a little bit narrower, okay? Because I used red heart. So I hesitated to show you this because I encourage you at the beginning of the video not to use red heart. So you probably won't have to do this, but I'm going to just mattress stitch up the side here like this, just so that I can make this a little bit smaller in circumference around the arm. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way up, and then I'll see you back. Okay, so I have all 4 pieces done, and now we're going to grab the head. I've already done it for the sake of time on this video. I get stressed out when I know my videos are getting really long, but I'm very detailed, so that's why it takes me a while. But anyways, I put it around the head here. It looks goofy until you get the beanie on, but I just did a little row around here, and then 1 row down and all the way around. So around here, 1 row down, all the way around. That's all I did, okay? Spacing them out, you can see that. Now we're going to attach our arms, and then we're going to make the beanie and finish the face, and we'll be done. So grab your arms, and we're going to assemble, okay? All right, so I have my arm, and we're going to make sure that the band is at the front, okay? We've got the back here, and that's going to go against the body. But I am going to take my arm here, and I'm going to make this piece just a little bit smaller, okay? So I have it attached on the side. I'm going to just go over to that side, bring it across, just like that, tie a knot, nothing fancy. And then this is pretty thick because I did the mattress stitch, but this is how I'm going to sew it on. So I'm going to bring this over to the corner here, tie a knot. Okay, And then generally when I'm doing animals, I will sew this part up, and then I'll take and put, once I tuck this in and I sew this up, then I'll attach it. But I'm going to do it as I go along because there's already enough bulk in it, okay? So we're going to put him on his side. Then we're going to place it right under the neck there, right straight even with the side of his body. Go into the side of the neck, into the neck there, where the two seams come together, two colors come together. We're going to pick up a piece, and then I always go from top to bottom, just like that. You can go underneath and come up, doesn't really matter actually, but that's just how I do it. Then I'm going to pick up some of the neck. I'm going to pull that tight. Then I'm going to come back up to the top, get all the layers in there, go back down into the neck, pick up a little piece there, pull it tight, okay? And I'm going to sew that arm on all the way across until it's secure. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and when I have that done, I'll see you back. There we go. I don't know if I can get a good camera angle in there, but there are our arms. They look absolutely great, okay? So now we're going to put the legs on. For these, again, you got to make sure that the top of the band is up. Basically, we're going to just put them down. Give them a little stretch. Put them down. Set your little guy on top. Isn't that just so cute? Center it, and then you're going to just turn them upside down and sew them on. I'm going to see if I can get that in the camera, okay? This is the front side, okay? So here's the middle of the bottom. I'm going right in front of it, and with this leg, I'm going to try to get it so that the center here is in the center there. Then I'm just picking up stitches, just like this. I'm going around and stitching it. That's all I'm doing. Okay, grabbing both, making sure I'm getting both ends, or both like this one and that one, in there as I sew. Just like that. Okay? Just thought I would pop on and show you, just in case someone was struggling with it, okay? And then I'm going to, once I get to the end, almost there, I'll go into that edge there, make a little knot. Then I'm going to take this other one, making sure the band is at the front, okay, and that the back part of it is at the back. And then I'm going to just put this one on right beside. I'm going to put that corner right over top of this corner, okay, just to secure it, just so that they overlap just ever so slightly, just like that, okay. And then I'm going to sew this one across to this end, tie off and hide my ends. Okay, so that's how I did it. Go ahead, finish yours, and I'll see you back. Okay, I'm going to have to hold my camera because the only way I can show you this is, oh, I just love it. It just looks so cool. But wait till we get the embellishments on and the fine tuning, the face and the beanie. It's going to be so, so adorable. So grab your I-cord. We're going to do that next. All right, so I have my I-cord here, and I'm going to try to find the best side that I can, because there's a couple. Oh, that's just where what is that? Well, that's where I hid my yarn end, but that's gonna be hidden anyway. So I'm gonna put this in half. Okay, so find your middle point. That's gonna go on the front, right underneath, just like that, right underneath the bib there. Then we're going to wrap it around, turn this little fella over. I've got attached sewing piece of yarn there, and we're going to bring it up, follow it along that color change, of course. Okay, bring it into the middle like that, and I want this piece to be up a little bit so that you see the color. So I'm going to sew it up to about there on both sides, and then we're going to cross it over, bring it over the shoulders, bring them back around, bring it over the shoulder, and we're going to tack it to the corner just like that. And then I'm going to put some buttons on it. So you're going to go ahead and sew that just like that. I want this I don't want it right up there. I want it just overlapping like that, so that when my button goes on, I have this little piece right here. So go ahead and sew that on just like that. And when you have that done, grab 2 of your favorite buttons that you think will be great, and we will add those as well. And then we're going to work on the beanie and the face, okay? For this one, I'm going to just go underneath, pick up at the color change there, pull through, and try to keep this so my rows are straight. And then I'm going to pick up in the middle underneath there. Okay, that's how I'm going to sew this one on all the way around so that I don't have any pulling and tugging from the stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I found these cute little in my button stash. They're pewter and they have like mousse on them. I love them. They're great. So those are the buttons I'm going to use. You find the perfect ones for you. Go ahead, keep sewing, and I'll see you back. All right, friends. So there he is. Grab your Addi 46 needle machine, and we are going to make the beanie. We're going to do the face last. I want to put the beanie on and then visualize the face. So grab your Addi, grab the color of the beanie that you want, the yarn for the color of the beanie that you want, and let's get started. Okay, I'm ready for the beanie. We're going to bring our last white, our first black in line with our yarn feeder, and we're going to cast on. I am choosing the black tweed. You can't really see it until it's starting to knit up, but Bernat premium black tweed for the beanie, okay? So we're going to cast on behind that first black, in front of the next, behind, and in front, all the way around. And we're going to do the rolled rim beanie, okay? And we're going to keep going like this. Before I get to the end, I'm going to change my row counter to 0, so it's all ready to go when I get there. In front of that last white one, into the yarn feeder, and we're going to knit. Now I am putting just a tiny wee bit of pressure. Oops, this is a tight one in the ball there. About medium tension is what I'm using, okay? And we're gonna do 40 rows, okay? Make sure it's loose coming out of my ball. When you are finished your 40 rows, you're going to cut off a long tail from your working yarn, put it on your needle, and you're going to cast off, taking off every stitch, just like what we've been doing for most of our project, okay? Oops, that's only because this was tight. I am convinced your handle screams at you only when you're not doing your job right, okay? And my ball was really tight and I wasn't doing my job right, so that's why it screamed at me. So I'm gonna do 40 rows, then I'm gonna cast off, and I will see you back. Okay, friends, have fun. All right, have my 40 rows completed. I'm going to stretch this out widthwise and lengthwise, just like that. And we're going to cinch up only one end, okay? Just like what we've done before. Roll it in so that this is all nice and smooth at the top, okay? Then you're going to reinforce around your center there and knot it off, and then I'll see you back, okay? All right, so I'm going to hide that yarn end on the inside, pull it hard so I can get that knot on the inside, cut this off. This is going to be hidden anyways because it's on the head, so you don't have to weave that in any better than that. But you're going to take this end on the other side here, and I'm just going to pull it a little bit tighter. Not much, just a little bit, just because I want it to be just a little bit snugger on the head, okay? And then I'm going to try it on the head to see if that's snug enough, which is, I'm not going to do under the camera because it's too hard to see. But then you're going to just keep snugging this up until it's the right firmness around the head, okay? I'm going to go check that out and then I'll be right back. All right, so I just needed a little bit more. So I'm going to pull that just a little bit snugger, just like that. Now I know that's going to fit, so then I'm going to take my end here. And I'm going to just unroll this a little bit. I'm going to tie a knot. Just like this. Okay. Pull that down with my thumb. Then I'm just going to trail this in just a little bit. And so my yarn end is on the inside, okay? Cut it off. That I'm going to put in the back. I'm going to just turn this around here. You're going to roll that up as far as you want it to be up, just depending on how it sits on the head. And you're going to place it on your Scarecrow head. And then you're going to just tack it down in just a few places. Isn't that like so adorable? I've never made even adult beanies with a rolled rim, but I like it. I think I might start doing that too. Okay, so let's go place that, stitch it in a few little places just to hold it, and I'll see you back. Thought I would show you what I'm doing. I am just unfolding this brim a little bit, going underneath into the head and making a big wide stitch just like that. And then pulling, but I'm not pulling it so that it gathers. I'm just pulling it so that it's snug against the head. Then I'm going to go down and out. And then this brim is going to be over that, and you're not going to see it. I'm taking fairly wide stitches, my friends. Yes, I am. And I'm going to get up to the beginning there. And once I reach this one, I'm going to actually put my needle in this one and come down to this one. I'm going to tie a knot, hide it off, and it's done. Well, I reckon this little guy doesn't even need a face. He's so darn cute. But he's going to get one anyways, whether he likes it or not. Now, yesterday in my Facebook group, I had posted the fact that there would be a pattern coming out soon, and I can't wait to show you. And in one of the posts, one of my members, Jan A, I hope you're watching this, you posted a picture of the stuff that you have on your table that is fallish, and you said, now your husband said all you need is a scarecrow. I'll tell your husband you have permission now to go out and get all the yarn that you need for this project, because he suggested it. I was dying laughing because you had posted that, and I'm going, oh, wait a minute, I've got one coming out, but I didn't want to tell you because it was a secret. So here it is. We're going to finish the face now. And Jan, this one's for you. All right, so here we go. We are going to start with the nose. So I have a bright orange, and I'm going to come up into the side of the head here and in between the eyes, about there. Okay. Then we are going to, what are we going to do? We are going to go down to a corner and over to the other, wherever we want our corner to be. So this is going to be, that's going to be the top of the triangle. These are going to be the sides. I think I need to push that out a little bit more. So if you push this down like this, then it helps you to visualize where you want your two edges to be. Okay, so just like that. Going to go back up into this point, back down to that point. I'm using this bent needle, because my small wooden wool needle that I would normally choose for this is still stuck in the cupboard somewhere. Now, the difference between this nose and the nose on my bears and stuff is that the point is at the top, not at the bottom. All right, another video edition. Covered mouth. Not like you haven't seen it at the beginning of the video already, but you have no idea how many clips this video has. And for some reason, there's another one here that did not hit record properly. So as I was sewing the majority of this nose, that clip is missing. So what you do is we did our little triangle. Okay, we did a little triangle. You're going to keep going up to the point, then down over that guide yarn that you had there, then back up to the point, underneath, up to the point, and back down, up and down, all the way across. And that's how you get your beautiful nose. Okay, I only have to go off for a couple more lines, but I wanted to hold it closer to me and at a different angle to get it properly. I'm just going to put my needle under there to straighten those out a little bit. See the difference that just made? Little detail made a huge difference. Then I'm going to bring that one down. Let's do that again. See, just like that. Bring it down. Pull it all into line. Then I'm going to go back into this corner here. I'm going to go out where I came in. Under the stuffing and out where I came in. Just like that. Okay. Straightening out these stitches here because I don't like how that pulled it apart. So we're going to just work with that to fix it. There we go. Now I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter, tie this off in a knot, and hide it into the head, okay? So for the mouth, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to just do it. And however it turns out, it turns out. Either I redo it or I like it. So I'm going to change needles. I have to go search my recliner chair again for this smaller wool needle that matches this set. I just am missing it so much, okay? We are going to go into the side somewhere. How about in there? Under the stuffing. I'm going to come up there. Will that work? And then I'm going to come down and up. I seriously have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing it, okay? And then down, and let's maybe go over here. I can't wait to see all your mouths, okay? So everybody just do it this way. When you get time, when you're at the place where you want to do the mouth, just don't overthink it. Just do it. And see how it turns out, okay? I'm gonna go over here. Then maybe here. You can see I'm doing a zigzag, and I didn't know how that last one was gonna land. So I'm gonna go out over here. Up here, and then maybe one more up here. Okay, that one up there makes it look like I got a crooked mouth, so let me just see here. But then I'm just going to take this back down here, and I'm going to go over to this one. Oops, pulled that a little too tight. And come down, maybe there. Then I'm going to come up into the middle one here, up to the middle of that bar there. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then down, and then up here, I think. And then down. Let's do one here. I couldn't draw for love nor money when I was in school. I failed almost every art class. No, I didn't fail, but I certainly didn't do well in art. And now I'm loving it. So there you go. Let's see. Let's go up here. This better be in the camera. One more right here and up here. How does that look, guys? Pretty darn cute. Let's see. And then I'm going to go back down to finish off this bar and out where I took it in. Love it. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this off. I know I get excited over the smallest things. It's just so much fun. Tie a knot. Okay, put that back in that same hole. Go up the hat there. Then we're going to do our best to get that threaded through there. Oops, got one threaded. Let's do the other one. If it's long enough. There we go. Out the hat. Then lift up on your stitches there so you can't see it. Cut this off. Lift up the hat so it tucks, the ends tuck under. And I think he's looking mighty fine. I'm not 100% sure about this neck here. I don't know that I like it, but then again, you see, maybe it's okay. So I'm going to think about that one. I took the little straw out of there. I didn't like it there, but I'm going to put a couple right here before I edit this video in its final stage. All right, I added some straw in the neck, but I didn't like it. I thought it was overkill, so I just put a little bit here on the waist as well. And he's done. So now it's time for his photo shoot, which you will have seen at the beginning, and now you'll see at the end. And there he is in all his glory, sitting in the pumpkin patch. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, those pumpkins are on my channel as well. So go look them up and make yourself a few. They're very beautiful. But here he is, just loving him. I think that he just looks so good. I'm so very pleased with it. And so thank you for joining me as I put my creative mind into gear and try to make some patterns that we all will love and enjoy. Thank you for sticking with me through the bloopers and the missed edits, all that kind of good stuff. You guys are excellent, and I just am so very appreciative of the group of crafters that I have that support me in this channel and on my my Facebook group as well, Koala Knits and Knacks Facebook group. If you haven't joined over there, please come on over and join. We'd love to have you a part of that very positive, very wonderful group. And again, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And I do have a PayPal link if these patterns are something that you feel you want to help support my channel in, then you can use that link. But you always know that I offer these to you for free, no pressure there at all. So thanks again, my friends. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.